Hi, Brats babes. So I'm making another vlog now. I talked to my fiance, and now I'm ready to talk to you guys. So what essentially happened was, so I had mentioned a few times the house that I bought like almost a year ago, um, and that I've been trying to restore or trying to make progress on. It's a Victorian house, and stuff like that. I have a YouTube channel for it, but I've never connected this one with that one simply because I've abandoned the other one. Things with the house are not going to plan. We've had horrible luck. And now I'm giving the house to Poppy, my stepdad, for free. He did construction back in Jamaica, where he's from. And he also was an electrician, among many other things. He does housework all the time, and he's really good at it, so he can handle it. With the way my health has been going, it's been declining rapidly for the past 3 years. And wow, it's insane. But yeah, my health has been declining for the last 3 years or so, kind of rapidly. Um, and like, I think Wile E. Coyote, the moment he looks down and realizes that he has walked off the edge of the cliff. That's how rapidly my health has been declining, it feels like. So I've been struggling to juggle the house, and then there's also my mom's health, and then it's also been causing a lot of conflict in the family, and it's just not worth it anymore. I'm tired of fighting with my brother. I'm tired of the stress on my fiance. I'm tired of the stress on me. I feel like it is killing me physically. I feel like I'm dying from this stress. So it's time to move on. Like, it's already caused enough issues for me. And I feel guilty for feeling relieved to finally part ways with it, but I just physically can't do it anymore. Poppy is sorry, much healthier and much more able-bodied than I am. I've been feeling really depressed about the whole thing, though, because I feel like I've let myself down and I've let everyone else down, and my hyper empathy has me feeling like I let the house down, and that the house feels unloved and betrayed and abandoned and stuff. And that's the way it feels like. I don't know. I feel a lot, and so I don't want the house to feel that way. And so it feels really rubbishy to kind of feel like I'm putting the house through that kind of emotional distress, I guess. And I know that's really stupid because houses don't have feelings, but hyper empathy is an issue. It is not a normal thing to have such an extreme extent of empathy. You know, I feel the perpetual burden of the whole world's pain, past, present, and future. Because I'm aware there's a lot of suffering in the world. I just know it. I can feel it. And like, I stopped paying attention to the news because it was so painful. I kind of feel like John Coffey from The Green Mile. Like, I just feel so tired of how ugly the world is sometimes. How much suffering there is in it. It's exhausting. But anyway. So yeah, I think later on, because I have court today and I'm really nervous about it and I feel really nauseous about it, and I'm just like, I don't know. I could cry about it, honestly. If I wasn't so just entirely exhausted, if I wasn't so hollowed out of every ounce of energy, I would be able. to cry. But I just can't. I feel like someone scooped my brain out through my eyeballs. And like everything's been replaced by dry deserts. Even my thoughts. You don't get much of those up there no more. It's a tumbleweed. Don't be mistaken there. Abandoned McDonald's drive-thru. It's just a tumbleweed, not a customer. My brain, population 0. The amount of rubbish up there. Comparable to Earth in the movie WALL-E. And then there's one little roach living up there. Which is why I'm stuck still here. Sometimes it feels like my mind is sharp. And I don't mean sharp as in I'm smart, I'm clever, quick-witted. No, I mean sharp as in it hurts. As if my whole brain were wrapped in thorny briars. And living in the brain, trying not to get poked by the thorny briars, are a bunch of hyperactive fairies. And then their pet roach. All trying to avoid getting poked by the sharp briars that surround them like a cage. I don't know. I like to imagine my body as being something like, really like, mythical, I guess. So that, like, it makes it easier to take care of myself, I feel like. So it's like, when I eat and stuff, I pretend I'm feeding little fairies and a fairy kitten in my stomach. And the fairy kitten purrs contentedly when, that's the digestion noise, when after eating. But I shouldn't overeat or else I'll drown them all. You know, and maybe that's really dumb, but if it works, it works. I have to think of it like I am a king, and my body is my kingdom, and I have to make sure that all of the fairies are treated well and taken care of, because those fairies are my people. I don't know. I think my next video, because I feel really down in this one, I think in my next video, I'm like, which is also probably going to be today, of course. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a little like talking about some of my favorite comfort things, like a couple of my dolls and plushies, and talking a little bit about them, just for something a little more lighthearted. And I don't know, it might also give insight, I guess, about me, or something. I would like to think so. Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry, I had an Ensure, and it's just not sitting well. It was the coffee one, which was stupid. I know better. I knew that would upset my stomach, but it didn't stop me any. I didn't even like the taste that much, which is the most disappointing thing. But it's a lot easier for me to consume liquids than it is for me to consume solids when it comes to trying new things, because liquids are often safer because there's not the texture component, usually. Oh, sorry. However, if there is a texture component, immediately that liquid is not safe. Unless it's soup, it's different if it's soup. But like, I don't like homemade protein drinks with like just mixing the protein powder and putting it in those like cups with the little metal ball that shit like blends it all up or whatever. Those blender bottles or whatever they're called. I think those are way too thick, and the flavor is really flat and dull. It's very one note flavor, and I just can't vibe with it. So I don't really. What I use protein powder for is usually for baking and cooking, not for, turning into drinks. If I'm gonna have a protein drink, it's always gonna be one of the pre-mixed cartons, pre-made cartons. Just shake it up, twist off the cap, and chug. But yeah, I'm struggling lately with my energy levels. I've been feeling really unwell, lately with everything. Just, I've been feeling really under the weather with all the bad weather we've been having, the rain, and my bones hurt so bad. I feel so fatigued. We're down to only 1, 2, 3, 4 nails left that are still on. The rest have popped off. I miss them, but I also feel like my nails need a break from having them. I have like one of those like patches across my nose for like, I don't know, blemishes and stuff. But it's like hardly visible on camera, which is really cool actually. But anyway, and I don't know why I feel the need to talk about food in every single video like this, but it's something that's on my mind a lot. And I think that's just because of the fact that my life has become this balancing act of trying not to die from ARFID, but also trying not to die from destructive binge eating patterns. Because, you can really, really mess up your internal organs by binging a bunch. And you can really mess them up by not giving them enough. But because of my low energy lately, I recognize in myself that I lack the energy to make real food. I've been living on a lot of soda pop lately, I'm not going to lie. And that's not exactly necessarily a good thing. So I just bought a bunch of Ensure and Muscle Milk and protein drinks at the grocery store. I did get some fruit though, and I'm really excited to eat it. Probably tomorrow when I'm feeling better. Or maybe later on today when I'm feeling better. Because I'm sure I'll feel better emotionally, less stressed out, less worn down. Yeah, but I don't know why, like, the immediate thing that for me to think about and talk about is food, and immediately just talking about it makes me feel a little bit better. That's so dumb. But yeah, that was probably the nastiest tasting Ensure I've ever had, by the way. I don't like it from the bottles, mostly because it just gives me very strong flashbacks to back when the last time I had the bottled kind, I got appendicitis. And I know the two are unrelated. Trust me, I know. I know the two are unrelated. I've had it since then and not had anything happen. But because of the fact that in my brain, it was like, those gut cramps in my brain had been associated with those Ensures, even though they were completely unrelated. I've had them since then and had no problems. They have not caused my guts any kind of pains, but it still puts me on edge and makes me too anxious. So I just don't buy the bottles. I just buy the cartons because the cartons are more similar to my Muscle Milks, and thus making it different somehow and easier. I just hope those Ensures actually taste good, because if those Ensures taste like booty, I'm going to be so freaking mad. So freaking mad. Like, it's insane. But they're pretty good. All things considered. I find it a lot easier to just have a liquid meal than to have solids, because then I don't have to cook or dirty dishes. I just reach in the fridge, grab a carton, shake it, twist off the cap, and enjoy. Then I toss the carton in the rubbish. I don't have a lot of energy. I feel guilty for my impact on the environment. However, there's nothing I can do about it. Not until I make like a lot more money and I can pay people to do my recycling for me. And pay people to clean my house for me. And pay people to take care of me. Because I am doing a rubbish job at taking care of myself. Like, I've just spent days rotting in bed. I get out, like, of bed occasionally, go to the pharmacy, go to stupid appointments that I'd rather not deal with, go to stupid court that I'd rather not deal with, stuff like that. Oh my God, I hope I have enough money to pay the meter. Or else I'm gonna have to walk through the rain. All the way from the library to the courthouse. And that would suck so much. It's so cold out there. Here's the progress on my friend's blanket that I'm making for her. Her favorite colors are like turquoises and blues, teals and greens and stuff. So that's kind of what the blanket will be. It's just a bunch of that. I like how I did the seafoam polka dots almost along the edges. I love how I did that. Like, I don't know. I have good ideas sometimes. And that's like when it comes to crocheting. And it's like the longer I crochet, the more ideas I get. And that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, I genuinely enjoy that. I don't know how to knit. I would like to learn eventually, though. But yeah, so that's pretty much how things are going today. Things are kind of rubbishy. I'll probably make even more videos and upload them to YouTube because I'll do anything to escape being alone with my own thoughts. I need an outlet. Today I'm under a lot of stress. YouTube has become my outlet, so I'm going to use it. And I feel like this is a healthier way to cope than to go binge because, trust and believe me, that was a very strong urge. That's why I hit record. I was sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, I'm having such a rubbish day, and everything. And I'm sitting here like thinking to myself, oh, you know what sounds really, really good? Every noodle in the house. And it's just like, no. I don't need to do that to myself. I don't need to feel like I'm getting gutted just because I decided to eat a stupid noodle. Oh, you know what? I might have rice noodles still. But I'm not going to eat all of them because I'm going to be reasonable. We're not going to binge. We're not going to binge because that's not how we handle our stress here anymore. That's not what we do anymore. It's not productive. It is directly destructive and harmful to my career and to my mental health. It will only make things worse, and I acknowledge that. So I will not binge. I mustn't. Because it'll make things worse. And then I will no longer just be, I want to take a nap all day. But then I will be, well, time to go to the grippy sock place. Time to go on a grippy sock vacation. And I always bring my own grippy socks, too. Because hospital socks feel like really gross. So I bring like my Nightmare Before Christmas grippy socks, my slipper socks. I lost my Hufflepuff slipper socks, but I'm not really upset about it. I only bought them because they were yellow slipper socks, and yellow is one of my favorite colors. I am a Hufflepuff. However, I don't get into Harry Potter anymore. I'm not interested in Harry Potter anymore. I don't care for Harry Potter anymore. I recognize that it was a really important piece of my youth. And it was a very important and vital escape for me when I was a child. However, I'm not a child anymore, and it no longer is providing that for me, and it is actually causing more turmoil to interact with. So I've stopped. I don't consume Harry Potter anymore. I don't watch them. I don't buy merch. Unless it's American Girl, because, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, but that train, the American Girl doll train, I need it. I'm too autistic to pass up a good train. Especially a passenger train. Those make me so happy. So it won't be like an official like Harry Potter train whenever I like end up getting that. It's going to be just more of a train for my dolls because yay, trains. And no, I'm not stereotypical or anything like that. It's not like, you know, I like trains and then that's it. No, I actually like trains as a historic form of transportation, and uh, I love the sounds that they make. I grew up living by a train track, so I heard them all the time, and I find them very soothing, and that's why I like trains. They're very soothing to me, and I look forward to a day when I get to finally travel on a Victorian style steam engine or something, like a passenger train, and dressed up in my finest Victorian clothes. As a matter of fact, a train wedding would be so much fun. In autumn, like in the autumn time, a Victorian train. I'm wearing my Victorian wedding dress that I pick, and then my fiance being there, who also likes trains. Um, my fiance likes mechanical things, trucks, trains, cars. That's just how he is. Um, and there's also a fascination and respect for the history of these items. Um, but yeah, it's just like, I don't know. A train wedding would be a lot of fun. I think I would love that. An autumn time train wedding. How romantic. Oh, and tea. There'll be tea. Ah, oh, yes. I want it Victorian as hell. Maybe even a little Edwardian. Ugh. I can't wait until I own Victorian undergarments. Like, that is something I'm so excited for. I'm excited to have my first Victorian corset and bustle and hoop skirts and chemise and um, drawers. Just all the undergarments, all the intricate stuff. I'm very excited about all of that, as weird and lame as that sounds. It's just, I've always had such a appreciation and fascination with the intricacy of vintage and historic clothing. I think that the 18th century is really fascinating too. However, it's not like my fixation. It's just a passive interest. My fixation is Victorian era through to just about the 60s. An entire lifespan right there. Um, 1880s through the 1960s. Well, no, through the 1950s. Just at the beginning of the 1960s. But I still do appreciate other vintage stuff, like from the 90s and 80s and 70s and 60s and stuff. Like, I do appreciate other kinds of vintage. Like, I'm very fond of how makeup was done back in the day with the way that they, like, I don't know. I just miss how they used to do it. Like, the blue eyeshadow and, you know, the eyeliner and just the soft, almost pastel colors. And, like, the drawn on eyebrows and red lips. Just classic. Um, oh yeah, and then there's the whole, like, beauty mark thing that people have done for a very, very long time. And I don't get it personally, but that's just me. I feel like they're distracting from the rest of the face because they're the only part of the face I can find myself staring at. And I don't know why I'm like this. Probably because I'm autistic. But yeah, it's just a giant granny square. And it's pretty seamless too. Like, you guys can't tell where I start and where I end. You can't tell where I go up each row. I learned it from a tutorial by a British lady. A seamless granny square. And you can make them as big as you want. which is exactly what I'm doing. It's been a lot of fun. It gives me something to do with my hands, which helps with my anxiety quite a lot. And that's why I picked up crocheting. I did more work on my butterfly top, but I'm not done with it yet. I still have more work I need to do. Overall. I just need to like crochet more panels for it and sew them all together to make it like, I guess, cohesive or whatever. I'm not sure what I'm doing exactly as of yet, but I'll figure it out, I'm sure. I'm so anxious about everything and stressed out about everything. I'm scared that, like, okay, so this summer I'm going to Orlando with my mom to go in front of a bunch of, like, casting directors, I guess. And, you know, executive producers and stuff like that. And I'm just... part of me's scared we won't be able to afford that trip. And I won't be able to do that. I will prioritize my career over that house. I'm sorry to say it, but my career is my whole future. That house is killing me. But I'm scared that we won't be able to afford it regardless. I have to, oh my gosh, I have to book the rooms by freaking May. The hotel room. And then I have to pay for plane tickets for me and my mom, both ways. And then there's the... I really don't know how I'm going to handle this. But hey, while I'm down there, maybe I'll stop at the American Girl store in Orlando after everything else. I'm not going to let it jeopardize anything. I'm not there for vacation. I'm there for work. But I've never been to the American Girl store in Orlando before. My goal is to visit everyone in America and Canada. I want to visit every American Girl store there is. That's my goal. Because I'm obsessed. I'd love to write a book for them someday. I actually have one in the works, but, you know, I'm going to finish writing it, and then I'm going to sit on it for a while until I'm famous enough that they would actually consider, you know, working with me. Because, like, I don't know, I have a really good book idea. I know what the fans want, and I know what I want. And I came up with a brilliant idea, in my opinion, and it's very unique. They've not had a girl like this before. And that's where I'm going to leave that at. I'm not going to tell you anything else. American Girl likes to be very secretive about stuff, so if they're ever going to hire me, I got to be tight-lipped. Because, you know, if they're going to hire me, they're going to want everything to be kept hush-hush until it's time to launch, so that they can build suspense and hype and stuff. So I'm going to keep my mouth closed as to anything else about it. Just with that in mind, because I don't want to, like, shoot myself in the foot. That would be stupid. I love using this Halloween bucket. You know, this is my first time ever having a Halloween bucket. Like, we bought this, like, last year, and it was my first time owning a Halloween bucket. I've never had one before then. And it's very cool and exciting and everything. And yeah, I like to use it to hold my yarn. That way I can take it with me. And it's not like those ceramic ones, so it's not going to, like, break or anything like that. As a matter of fact, this thing has been dented so many times, I just pop it back out and we're good. So yeah. We always used grocery bags growing up whenever Mom took us trick-or-treating. And then we didn't get to go trick-or-treating anymore after Mom and Dad divorced and she moved out and lost custody of us because Dad fought for custody of us because he's a sick son of a gun. Well, no, he's a sick son of a bitch. His mom is a bitch. She actually was part of why mom lost custody of us. She went into court and lied. She lied in court about my mother so that my mother would lose custody. And now she expects my mother to just be friends with her and be cool with her now. Water under the bridge. No, you kind of ruined everybody's life, Tina. Maybe, like, you shouldn't have done any of that. And maybe more of your family would actually want to talk to you. Man, that's, I don't know. Karma is not really a very nice thing when you're not a very nice person. She's gonna die alone and without being in touch with much of her family. That's karma. Sucks to be her. And you know, I feel like my dad's gonna end up in the same boat at this point. Because every last one of my siblings, after we move out, except for my brother, the golden child, the favorite, after we move out, it's like, who cares? Like, we stay civil enough with dad to keep connections with the rest of the family, but other than that, we don't really interact with them a lot. At least I don't. My brother does a little bit more than I do. But my brother, like I said, he's a different situation. He's the golden child, so he wasn't nearly as traumatized at dad's hands. Or whatever. Wow, that was a really sad thought. Depressing urges, nothing major. Just like something to ignore. But yeah. So I guess I feel better now that I have, sat here and vented a little bit about things. I've decided that I have to forgive myself. I have to be able to live with myself, so I have to move on. I have to be okay with the plan regarding the house and accept that it is going to be out of my hands and that I will no longer have control over it or the situation, and that I have to be okay with that. Okay. That's kind of the conclusion I'm coming to. Thank you guys for listening and talking this through with me. That I honestly feel a lot better. I want to do a more lighthearted video later on. Maybe 2 videos. I'm not going to do my makeup today because I have like these like pimple patches and stuff on my face. My skin needs a minute. But I do want to make a video later talking about my favorite comfort item, Annie, and telling you guys her backstory, what all I've been through with her, because she is probably the most valuable thing I own. Not, like, she's not valuable in the sense that I could sell her for a lot of money, because I really couldn't. I could sell her for $10 at most, but I'm not interested in ever selling her. Ever. I'd sooner die. As weird as that sounds. But I want to get into her story a little bit, and the history that I have with her, in a video later on today to kind of help me further feel better, and also give you guys a little bit more insight about, I guess, my childhood, because she is actually the key to my childhood. Not my dad's childhood, mine. I've had her for a very, very, very long time. I call her Annie, and she's my best friend. And then I'm also going to tell you guys about Little Roach, my mini-me, my American Girl doll, and talking about how, oddly enough, caring for that doll has helped me to care for myself in an odd way. But stay tuned for those videos in the future. Those will likely both come out later on today. Actually, I will probably put the 2 dolls into one video. So that one video will probably come out later today. Let me correct myself. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thank you again for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you would like to be a Bratz babe, just hit the subscribe button and boom, there you are. And I hope you know I'm using that term, like group Bratz babes term for all of my subscribers, and I'm using it in a gender neutral manner. That way, I'm not saying Bratz girls, I'm not saying Bratz boys, Bratz babes. Because anyone can be a babe. Boys or girls. and anyone in between. But anyway, I hope you like the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, thank you guys so much for listening to me vent the past few days. I've been going through it, but I'm feeling a lot better now. I really am. Thank you guys so, so, so much. Honestly, you guys are better than my therapist. But anyway, I love you. Bye.